It is officially bowl season, and we are getting set for a month-long playoff run, which is hard to believe considering we are already in mid-December. But we are getting set for the college football playoff. The bracket is set. The teams are getting prepared for their first round matchups, which are coming up. And we have a bunch of bowl games to talk about because we are going to be picking every single college football bowl game this year, which is going to be a lot of fun, I think, and it's going to make it where anybody can come out on top in our points run this year. So we have the boys all back together: Dylan Price, Justin Chevalella, Josh Bartosik. I'm Thomas English. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Thomas, you said it's bowl season. It's also the holiday freaking season. And if you couldn't tell, for those of you on Spotify, I am in the holiday festive mood. I've got my Santa hat, Penn State Santa hat, of course. I got the Christmas tree behind me. I listened to music yesterday for the first time in months because I was so into Christmas. I listened to Christmas
hell frozen
music.
over?
On my way to work, I listened to Christmas music, and on the way home while the Knicks were at halftime. I am hyped up not just for bowl season, but the holiday season. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he listened to All I Want for Christmas. I mean, he had to have, right?
He probably listened to a little Wham too.
All I want for Christmas is to win this, matchup against you guys. Win our point total for the season. That's what I want for Christmas.
This is a big chance for a bunch of us to catch up. Looking at me and Dylan.
I don't like catch up.
Looking at me after conference championships week, and I'll get to there in a little bit. But I want to do a tribute to a fallen soldier last night for one final time, John Cena. We can see you, man. We can see you. We can see you the whole time, and we're gonna miss you. And I'm in shambles. My childhood's over, and I'm really sad. But anyways, I don't know. Josh, did you have anything to add? Otherwise, I was gonna ask Thomas how he's doing.
I mean, no, just that it's -5 degrees this week. So
it's also daytime. Like, this is weird. Like, I can see daylight through Josh's windows, through Thomas's.
It's not as depressing in here because there's natural light coming in.
Now, is the TV in the room?
No.
Okay. Is the TV in the room?
It is barren today. RIP to a fallen soldier. It's also, I have not seen grass in 2 weeks. There's been snow.
So when we say go touch grass, you can't go touch grass?
I can touch ice. Getting out of my driveway every day is kind of that's a good. Wow, you're in a festive mood. Getting out of my driveway every day is kind of like a spinning the roulette wheel of if I'm going to crash into a tree or not.
Well, you kind of spin that wheel every time you drive because you're notoriously not a great driver. But before
I was the one who received the speeding ticket this week, so maybe we shouldn't be making fun of Josh for his driving.
Thomas is next. Thomas is the only one.
I've never gotten a ticket before.
I've gotten quite a few parking tickets in state college.
Yeah.
Parking tickets
don't count. Those are easy.
Yeah.
It was just a school zone, guys. Like, it's not that serious.
Anyways, can we do temperature checks? I'm just really curious what everyone's weather is before we actually get into college football because all four of us are in four different – I guess Thomas and I are the closest, but it's four-ish different parts of the country.
Well,
here in North Little Rock, it's 29.
Is that the feels like or the real feel?
That was just the temperature on the top of the screen. The feels like is 26.
Okay. So I am also 29 degrees, but I am a feels like of 17, and it has been snowing since about midnight. So not sure what it looks like when I have to go outside and drive to work in a little bit, but I do love snow, so it's also helping my mood.
I love snow. So actually I was a little bit off, but -2 outside.
Is that a feels like of -5?
It's actually feels warmer than it is outside, which is a very rare thing to say. In
global warming, unbelievable.
It felt like -30 yesterday. It wasn't even like a winter weather warning; it was severe weather warning, which is terrifying.
I will say I know in Chicago it was -20.
Chicago.
I'm happy to not be home right now. I got 19 degrees. Real feel of 19 degrees.
Wear shorts in your guys' weather.
It'll be upper 50s by Wednesday though. So,
we're touching 60 this week.
Yeah. So
I think I touched 30 one day.
I get to 41 on Friday.
I get to 50 on Friday. I shouldn't lie.
64 Thursday here.
All right, should we ask how Thomas is doing and get going?
Probably.
Tommy, how's it going?
I'm doing
Hey,
good.
Barbara,
I'm
can you
excited
say
to get to
college?
the bowl season. We've had good college basketball games this week.
I don't want
This
to
is
talk
the
about
best
college
time of the year.
basketball.
College basketball, college football in full swing. Can't get better
And
than
the
that. And the
holiday
holiday
season.
season.
NC State
There you
keeps
go.
losing. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about college
The
basketball.
holiday season. That was a really good game, though. That was a
It
really
was a
good
great game.
Um,
Love when
but-
when a bench player for Kansas has a career high 36 points with 9 for 15 from 3.
Yeah, he went off. He went off, that's for sure. But all right, let's get into it. First thing we're going to talk about today, just briefly, is a headline that we have, a small one. The Heisman Trophy was given out, and Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza is your winner, which I have some thoughts about it. I know Josh and I talked a little bit, I believe, agreed on some thoughts on it that honestly, this Heisman class just was not great compared to previous years. And I hate to say that because I do like some of the players in it. I do think they're all good players. But, stats wise, when you look at some of the stats compared to, past 5 to 10 years, they're just underwhelming. So, Dylan, your reaction to Mendoza winning it?
I mean, it was the best winner of if they were not going to roll the dice and give a little bit more recognition to the best mustache in college football and Jacob Rodriguez. Rodriguez has forced nearly a dozen turnovers. He, in my opinion, was more than deserving of at least getting an invite to New York City. I don't understand why if Diego Pavia can just bang the drum and complain enough, we're going to listen to him and send him to New York City. But instead, we'll have to make Jacob Rodriguez sit on the couch when he actually had more votes than Julian Sayin. Jacob Rodriguez is the best defensive player in college football. He should have been there. But in all actuality, sometimes stats aren't the whole story. And what Fernando Mendoza has done this year has been outstanding. To be the first Heisman winner in Bloomington, to be the architect behind this kind of revitalization, but I don't even want to say revitalization because they were a really historically awful program. It's the coming of age for Indiana Hoosiers football, and Fernando Mendoza is at the front of it. That's probably the best Heisman speech I remember from the last decade. If not longer. It was an exceptional Heisman speech. He's a great guy. I mean, I think everybody has come to know that over the last week with his post-game interview and then that speech, if you didn't already. And if it didn't already have a rubber stamp on it, he would pretty much have to bottom out in the college football playoff to not be a top pick in this upcoming NFL draft. So I'm all in on Heisman Mendoza. Number one, because he just seems like a genuinely good dude. And for a team that I've been rooting against all year, at least they have a likable quarterback. And number two, more selfishly, and the main reason I wanted to bring this up is that Fernando Mendoza, I hope you like playing in a sardine can stadium because I want you to be the New York Jets football quarterback next year, baby.
Wow, that'll be interesting.
Give me him and Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah. Mendoza gets Indiana to a 13-0 season, the number 1 seed in the country. Justin, your reaction to the Heisman winner?
Yeah, first of all, on Dylan's point, the only way the Jets can get that first overall pick is trading 3 first-rounders to the Giants, so I'm all about this. I'm happy just as much as Dylan is. The simple matter of fact is Dylan said it best. This was not a good class of Heisman candidates. Nobody really put themselves above the rest of the field, and maybe that's the parity that college football has come to with, the transfer portal and the $1 million going around to each of these players. But I really don't think Fernando Mendoza was that guy either. When you look at it, he was the second best quarterback in the Big Ten. I mean, Julian Sayin did have better stats than Fernando Mendoza, except for passing touchdowns. There was a 2-touchdown difference there. While Julian Sayin didn't just rewrite his own school's record books, he rewrote, most likely, depending on how he finishes, the FBS record books because his completion percentage is about to be the highest in a single season, beating Bo Nix from a couple of years ago. When I think about Heisman's of the past, they rewrote record books in one way or another. And I know the award isn't who rewrote the most records. It's who was the best that season. But usually the guy who beats records is that guy who had the best season. And the simple matter of fact is Fernando Mendoza rewrote Indiana's record book. So sure, he's Indiana's Heisman. But at the end of the day, Julian Sayin broke Big Ten records. He broke the FBS record as long as this holds the rest of the way through the college football playoff with his 78.4% completion rate. He had more passing yards. look, I don't agree with it. I think Dylan said it best. Great guy, great speech. Although I did shut it off and then listen to it later on in the night. But at the end of it, like, it just didn't move the needle in terms of a class of Heisman winners. And I hope that this is a one-off situation. Like last year, we're talking about a two-way player versus Cam Ward, who was a transfer from Incarnate Word, versus a Boise State running back who was rewriting records left and right. And there was talks of a tight end, quarterback, wide receiver, running back at Penn State being in the mix. Like, I hope we get back to where there's something fun involved with it. I think this one was almost just too chalk of a situation. And the last point I have here is, what is Fernando Mendoza's Heisman moment? Every Heisman has a moment, and you're telling me that his Heisman moment came against a 6-6 Penn State team, and he was bailed out by Omar Cooper on the back end.
I would like to say that you came out earlier and said that that's a top 5 roster in college football because you used that argument against me a few weeks ago. So it's still
okay. Yes, but look at it in terms of other Heisman moments we've seen in the past. It still doesn't move the needle in terms of a Heisman moment. And Dylan, if you're going to say his Big Ten performance, it was a 13-10 game. It was a BS.
It's not his Big Ten performance. It's holistically leading a team to their first Big Ten championship and leading them.
Oh, so now it's a team award. The Heisman became a team award. Let's give out another natty. Why not?
Well, okay.
Justin, they could have everybody on that team be a first-round pick in the NFL draft, and if their quarterback wasn't at least pulling his weight, if not going above and beyond that, which I think we can all agree Mendoza did and has done, then they would be nothing. So the fact that he's been able to guide them to this point, yeah, you know what? Maybe you're rewarding team performance, and maybe it's more of a most valuable player award than it is a, just outstanding performance award. But I think he's more than deserving. And if you don't think that's just because of his Heisman moment happening in Happy Valley, then look at the Big Ten championship. Sorry, if you disagree with it, Justin, it's just because you're a hater.
I mean,
again, I think out of this, I'm not mad. I guess I am mad he won it.
Who would
you sound mad that he won?
That's the
thing. I just said Julian Sain had a better year than him.
They lost the Big Ten championship.
But we're not comparing what
he looked awful.
The teams did.
Okay, well, think about it from this perspective. Would you rather have Indiana's wide receivers as a quarterback or Ohio State's wide receivers as a quarterback? I think maybe that could have been part of the conversation of, Julian Sain might have a better pass or completion percentage because he's throwing to the two best wide receivers in college football in Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. I would hope your completion percentage is high. Whereas Indiana doesn't there is still great talent on the Indiana team, but we're not talking about Indiana's wide receivers as being generational like we always talk about Ohio State's, especially this year. I think that might be I think that might have been a deciding factor. I do think it came down to between Julian Sain and Fernando Mendoza. I don't think Diego Pavia being a glorified running back as a quarterback should have even been in that conversation. I agree with Dylan where it should have been Rodriguez from Texas Tech. This is the one year that you absolutely need a defensive player on there. And there was Travis Hunter last year, but it was more so a two-way. He was a two-way player. If he was just a corner, he would not have made it, and we all know that. So it really should have been was the year to bring back a defensive player, and they didn't do it. Jeremiah Love, great running back, not good enough to be in the Heisman conversation. Sorry. But
not his fault. Notre Dame's
not his fault.
It's
Notre Dame's fault for underperforming and not utilizing him to the best of their abilities in the first few weeks. We talked about on this podcast that Jeremiah Love was getting no carries for the first few weeks, and we thought there was an injury or something. And then he finally gets these carries against, let's look, Syracuse and Boston College. Of course you're going to put up 200 yards. Those teams are terrible. Anyways, I rest my case. I don't really have any feelings either way about the Heisman because, this was just a boring class. Nobody really stood out this year, and I don't know if anyone's going to stand out next year. I think it's the same sort of situation. We don't have generational quarterbacks coming in college football anymore.
I think the thing that I took away from Mendoza winning the Heisman is that it is a new era of the Heisman Trophy. Including Mendoza now, the last 4 winners have been transfers and have transferred in from other colleges. You talk about Caleb Williams from Oklahoma to USC, Jaden Daniels to LSU, Travis Hunter to Colorado, and then this year Mendoza to Indiana. So obviously the transfer portal is where you got to find your top talent players, and the Heisman is showing that. So I kind of like it, the fact that it's becoming kind of a transfer award because it really shows that this is a new era of college football, and teams are adapting. Some teams aren't, and you know what? I'll give credit to Mendoza, 13-0, number 1 seed. He did his job. So I like Josh said, I'm really indifferent on who won it. I think there's arguments for both cases. I think we can all agree the class wasn't as great as last year's or even the years prior. So I'll rest the case there with Mendoza. And let's get into kind of the heart of our show here. Let's talk about our bracket. We talked a little bit, Justin, Dylan, and I, about reaction to the college football playoff bracket from the committee. Let's give our polls and our bracket here. So let's talk about our top 25 first. And so there is your top 25. Really wasn't much shuffle from last week. More of just some teams kind of flipping spots, maybe one or two. So you have Indiana and Ohio State who flipped spots. Georgia State right in the middle at 2. Everything else was pretty much the same. Texas Tech bumps up a little bit. Ole Miss and Oklahoma stay. A&M, Oregon, Notre Dame stay. Alabama and BYU, I believe, flipped. I believe we had BYU at 10. Miami, Vanderbilt, Texas, Utah, all the same. Tulane and JMU both move up ahead of North Texas. USC and Michigan, Arizona, UConn, Navy, Virginia. And rounding it out, somehow sneaking in, is UNLV. Good job, Dylan. You got UNLV into the top 25 this week. So based on that top 25, here is our bracket for the college football playoff because this is interesting. It's a little bit different than the original one from the committee. So our top 4 seeds are still the same, although we had Indiana at Georgia at the 2 seed instead of Ohio State. But then there's some interesting matchups there with JMU and Ole Miss instead of Oregon. You have Notre Dame and Oregon now, Tulane, Oklahoma, and then Alabama and A&M, a game that was almost the SEC championship matchup, but ended up not being that because of A&M's loss. But I'll start with Dylan here first since he's on my top of my screen. Is there a matchup that intrigues you the most in our final bracket?
Alabama, Texas, A&M, I think, and then with the winner facing Georgia, it's essentially – I mean, that's your best of the SEC from minus maybe Ole Miss. I think Oklahoma just kind of got lucky and then had the win over Alabama. But I think it would put to bed any debate on that upper echelon of the SEC rather quickly. And I think it would be the most exciting back and forth matchup. I think it would be pretty fun.
Justin, when you look at our top 4 seeds, and then obviously we had both Tulane and JMU getting in as well. What stands out with the bracket for you?
Yeah, I think Dylan and I and you had a conversation last week in our episode fittingly titled Joshing Around, even though Josh wasn't on it.
Hold on.
About how we agreed that, the committee got it right, that Miami was in and Notre Dame wasn't, and then our bracket doesn't reflect that. We have Notre Dame in over Miami, and I know Dylan and I think we all kind of agreed Notre Dame's the better team, but you have to respect the head-to-head. The reason it's like this in our bracket is because we didn't have them comparably. Like, we did not have them side by side, and when you do it that way, Notre Dame is miles ahead. When they get put side to side like they did for the committee, that's when you can flip them. I would have loved to see a Notre Dame-Oregon matchup. That, I think, would have fed families in Autzen. I think you're talking about like a 42-41 game or something like that, kind of like the Notre Dame-Texas A&M game from earlier in the season. Obviously, that didn't come to fruition, but I think that's what stands out to me about our bracket is that as much as we said the committee got it wrong or got it right, we now are, kind of counter-arguing that with our bracket that has Notre Dame in.
I think that matchup too with Notre Dame and Oregon would be interesting because the winner, it's either a rematch with Oregon and Indiana, or it's a rematch from the college football playoff last year with Notre Dame and Indiana, which would be an interesting game because that would be on a neutral site instead of at home. So, Josh, what stands out for you?
Well, not to, piggyback what other people said. So I'm going to go with the Tulane-Oklahoma matchup, which I think would have actually been a really fun one. I also love James Madison. I just don't think they can compete with Ole Miss. I do think that the James Madison versus Oregon Twitter debacle going on right now is probably my favorite of all time. They're the only 2 teams that aren't actually trying to kill each other on Twitter. They're having a ton of fun with it, and I respect it. And I hope it's at least a somewhat decent game. But Tulane-Oklahoma is fun to me just because of the fact that this is a Tulane team that loves offense. They thrive on offense. They're top 40 in the country in yards per game, I think, like over 400. And then this is an Oklahoma team that has survived strictly because of their defense, right? It's, offense versus defense is one of those matchups. And I think Oklahoma, if you're looking at our bracket by teams that are not Group of 5 that got in by being the top 5 conference champions, Oklahoma is probably the weakest team there. I think, Dylan even said it, that Oklahoma just got lucky, maybe because they played an Alabama team that has not played very well this last month of the season, but they still got in my opinion, strictly because of that win over Georgia. So I think that would be a really good test to see if Oklahoma can actually live up to their expectations and if that defense can really hold strong, or if, maybe they can finally get a running game going. But that would be a fun matchup. It wouldn't really matter who wins because that team would get smacked by Ohio State. But
yeah, I think the second round matchups stand out to me. Obviously, you would have, I would think, Ole Miss and Texas Tech. I think that's a really intriguing matchup because you have really, kind of two teams opposite way. Ole Miss, a really high scoring team. Texas Tech, more of your defensive squad. Obviously, we touched on the Indiana matchup with potentially Notre Dame or Oregon. I think either one of those, Oklahoma, Tulane, more Oklahoma would be a good matchup for Ohio State. I think that would be a fun one. Two really good defenses. And then, like you guys said, with the SEC kind of situation there at the bottom. So I like our bracket. Do you guys think it's better than the committees? Do you think it would be more in terms of a?
Well, of course I'm going to say our bracket's better.
Strictly because Notre Dame's in over Miami, I don't think so. That's just
now I think the one last week we also talked about easiest path, and I think the committee's bracket we kind of said there isn't an easiest path. I think it's pretty clear in our bracket that Ohio State would have an easy path into at least the semifinals. Whoever they line up with, against Georgia, I think that's tough. But I think we were running into that same issue with the actual, committee where kind of like there wasn't anyone until you got to the semis. I think we have some interesting matchups in the second round that would do great.
Yeah. I agree. I think it's pretty clear to say Ohio State has an easier path than some of the other teams. And entertainment-wise, I think our bracket is a little bit more intriguing as far as some of the matchups that could happen. So that's is what our bracket would look like if we were on the committee. Obviously, we're not. Maybe in the future. But let's get into a recap of last week quickly, so then we can get into our picks. Because, like I said, we are picking every single bowl game, and we have some bonus picks for you at the end, which you'll want to stay tuned for. So let's talk about Conference Championship Week. That also included the Navy-Army game as our 10th game.
Oh, Dylan.
It was rough. It was honestly rough. Dylan may have been better off picking with Grant. Dylan went 3-10. 3-10 this week and lost a point because of his lock with UNLV and Ohio State, which both lost. So he didn't get a bonus point for that. He actually lost one.
Can I campaign on UNLV for a second here?
Can
we get rid of that stupid blue field? I get a migraine watching the game. Personally, I would imagine that it hindered the players. UNLV is a quality football team, a top 25 football team by our metrics. And for them to have to play on that asinine blue field, they were playing at a disadvantage.
Hey, skill issue.
In my opinion, Josh, I'm talking here, please.
Skill issue.
So, unfortunately, you have to play on that stupid blue field, and they're playing at a significant disadvantage. I personally feel like we should waive my UNLV punishment. Just because it's unfair that we made them play under those harsh circumstances.
Only if I get my half a point from Louisville.
No, don't give them either of that. Dylan, stop whining. It's skill issue.
There's no crying in baseball, bud.
Well, this is
good thing this isn't baseball.
There's no crying in football, bud.
I'm embracing the Fernando Mendoza crying mentality. All right.
Sounds like it.
Cry me a river, build a bridge, and get over it.
All right.
Well, it won't be a blue bridge, that's for sure.
So Dylan goes 3 for 10. Josh and I both went 6 for 10, and Justin, the big winner of the week, for 7 for 10. I did get 7 points because I did the same thing as Dylan. Kennesaw State got me a win there. So Kennesaw State and Texas Tech. So I got 7 points. Justin got 7. Josh got 6. Dylan 2. Recap of the actual games. Navy did beat Army. That was a thriller. Kennesaw State beat Jacksonville State. Western Michigan over Miami, Ohio. Boise State, shout out Justin for picking that one, over UNLV. JMU narrowly beat Troy. Tulane got the win over North Texas. Duke with the big upset over Virginia allowing JMU to get in. Texas Tech handled BYU. Same thing with Georgia. They dominated Alabama. We talked about that last week. And then Indiana beating Ohio State. The rest of us got our locks right. Like I said, Dylan unfortunately did not get that. So your overall total, which keep in mind, the points are close enough where at this point, any one of us could win it because of how many games we were picking this week. Your overall records,
Well, unless you're Grant.
I'm 90. Yeah, unless you. Well, honestly, Grant could catch somebody somehow. To be
Dylan,
fair,
watch out. He's only 40 points behind.
yeah. I'm 91-39. Justin is 85-45. Josh is 79-51. And after a brutal week, Dylan is 76-54. However, your point totals are pretty close. I'm at 87. Josh and Justin tied at 81. Dylan at 75. And Grant trailing at 33. So, again, I want to, say it one more time. Anybody can take this. We are going to have a lot of games to pick here. So I say we get right into it. How this is going to work is you're going to get 1 point for each game like we've been doing all season. We're going to have a bonus point. We're going to pick our college football playoff bracket. Bonus point if you can pick the correct national champion. And then we'll have our locks and long shots as normal. And then another bonus point, which you'll have to stay tuned later to find out what that pick is going to be. We have already picked 2 of the bowl games since they have already happened. So we'll recap those really quick. South Carolina State against Prairie View.
What a
SC
game.
State
I don't know if
came out
anyone
with
watched it.
Four
but
overtime game. I did. Yeah, I did. I caught the fourth quarter, which the fourth quarter was insane too. It was just back and forth. But those two, so SC State ended up coming out on top. Dylan and I picked Prairie View, so we were incorrect there. Josh and Justin got that one right. The other game was Boise State and Washington, which was a good matchup on paper, but Washington ran away with that game, and Justin got Boise State incorrect. The 3 of us got Washington. So
it's because they weren't playing on the blue field.
Right.
If you're using Dylan's metrics, then yes.
Yeah. Dylan's metrics, which is just him putting them 15th in his poll.
Stupid blue field.
But all right, so the SC State Prairie View, that was the Cricket Celebration Bowl. Boise State, Washington, the Bucked Up LA Bowl. Let's get into our picks this week, gentlemen. Our first one is an interesting one. 2 8-5 teams. The IS-4S Salute to Veterans Bowl. It's Troy and Jacksonville State. Josh, we'll start with you.
Yeah, look, I got to go quickly because we have an unbelievable amount of games to go through. So because I used Jacksonville State in one of my first ever college football dynasties, I'm going to go with them. I don't know too much about the rest of these teams. I'm not even going to front.
Justin?
I know that Troy kept it close against JMU, so give me Troy.
Dylan?
Jacksonville State.
Okay, I'm going to go with Troy on the same logic that Justin had, but they kept it with JMU. So
who keeps taking my graphics away? Can you stop?
I'm not doing it.
I don't have access.
All right.
Quit joshing around.
The Staff DNA Cure Bowl.
These can't be real names.
I know. Some of these names are going to be so bizarre.
Can we get a toilet bowl soon? I really want one of those.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have the Locks and Long Shots Bowl here coming up soon. But it is Old Dominion and South Florida, both 9-3. Josh, who do you like?
Yeah, look, I've been high on USF all year. I still really like this South Florida team. Go Bulls. I'm gonna take South Florida in this one.
While Justin figures it out, we'll go to Dylan real quick.
I'm also going to go with USF. I feel pretty consistent and confident with my support of them. Sorry, Ricky Rain and Old Dominion and whoever's out there.
Justin?
Yeah, I have USF as well. They may have lost their head coach. They didn't lose their spirit.
I'm going to go USF too. I don't really know much about Old Dominion. USF has played well against some good teams, so give me USF. Another game, the 68 Ventures Bowl. Louisiana and Delaware, 2 6-6 teams. This is on Wednesday, December 17th. Josh, who do you like?
Louisiana.
Okay. Justin?
Yeah, what a first season for Delaware in the FBS. And for that reason, I'm giving them the win because why not? I don't know anything about Louisiana except that I used them in College Football 25 last year and won some natties with them.
Dylan?
I supported an FCS team that took the jump in Kennesaw State, and I'm going to back another one here. Give me the Blue Hens. Go Delaware, baby.
Yeah, I look at this game, 2 6-6 teams that I haven't watched this year. You know, I like a story, an underdog story, so I'll take Delaware as well in this one. Um, our next one is the Xbox Bowl, which I didn't know was a thing. It's Missouri
new.
State. It's new? Okay, new
I
this
think
year.
it replaced.
Bahamas Bowl.
I was going to
Used to
say
be
it replaced the Bahamas Bowl.
Okay, there we go. But it is Missouri State 7-5, Arkansas State 6-6. Josh?
Because Arkansas State has the coolest stadium in all college football because they have a waterfall inside, and that's pretty sick. Go Arkansas State.
Justin?
I'm hoping there's some, common opponent, but I don't know it, and I don't have the time to look it up. Missouri State has a better record, so let's keep it that way. Missouri State.
Dylan?
I feel like I have to be biased here.
Yeah.
I believe we're sending a team out there for coverage because, unfortunately, Arkansas State. Unfortunately, I guess for our team too. This game is now in Frisco, Texas. If it had been the Bahamas Bowl, they'd be going to the Bahamas, but instead they're going to Frisco, Texas, which is just a little bit of a drive away. But I'm rooting for half of my coworkers went to Arkansas State, so roll Arkansas State, I guess.
Well, I'm in Missouri, so I guess I'll take Missouri State then.
I like it. We should bet on this game, Thomas. Maybe a friendly wager.
Yeah, we can figure something out. But all right, let's move on to our next one, which is the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Kennesaw State at 10-3 and Western Michigan at 9-4. Josh?
Oh, this is a tough one because I really love what Kennesaw State has done. But go Broncos. College hockey reigns supreme.
Justin?
Well, the thing is, this game is being played on a football field and not an ice hockey rink.
Is it a blue football field, though? That's the real question.
I don't believe so, but it could be.
Yeah.
I think the blue football field does come a little sooner in the famous
Actually,
Potato Bowl.
If this is played at Coastal Carolina's field, it might actually be a teal field. I think it is.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I think it's a blue field.
All right, give me Kennesaw State, or actually no, give me Western Michigan. I'm going with Josh.
Yeah.
The MAC is a superior conference.
Dylan?
This game, folks, is being played at Coastal Carolina Brooks Stadium. Which will be a teal field, which means I'm going to do for the first time in Locks and Long Shots history what we've never done before. I'm rooting for both teams to just have fun. I don't want to watch this game because I'll have a migraine.
You have to pick a team. That's too.
You have to pick a team, though.
You can't pick fun unless you're just going to automatically get a 0 for this game if you want to.
Kennesaw State.
I'm going to pick Kennesaw State, too. They got me a big win last week. I'll ride with them once again.
I have actually been to this field, and it is nice in person, by the way.
There you go. All right, this is a matchup that Josh has some interest in. It's the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, which is
who forgot to capitalize the M in mortgage?
Probably you.
I don't know.
It was
but it is Memphis and NC State. Memphis is 8-4. NC State is 7-5. Josh?
One tiger can't stop an entire wolf pack. CJ Bailey is fantastic and is going to transfer next year for sure to an SEC school like KC Concepcion did before him and ball out. But maybe I think this is the year that Dave Dorn finally gets a bowl win. I don't actually think it's going to happen, but because I have rooted interest, I have to pick NC State. But Dave Dorn is not won a bowl game, and it probably won't happen. But
Justin, did Josh cook with that bar of the Tiger and Wolf Pack?
He did. Okay. I gotta give him credit. Like that could be an opening line to his album. And I know he's got one cooking up. Just wait for it. It's called Locks and Long Shots. Was I not supposed to say that?
Dude, no, we're supposed to release it.
He's getting into making music now.
If Ryan Silverfield was still coaching Memphis, Memphis wins, but Ryan Silverfield went to Arkansas and isn't coaching in the bowl game. So yeah, I'm rolling with Josh. Say the line again. I want you to get as much credit today as possible. Say it again.
One tiger can't stop a wolf pack, baby.
That's right. NC State.
Dylan?
I can't believe I'm going to do this, but I feel like we've offended Josh enough with some of our earlier selections. So, whatever this is, I guess I'll finally do it.
Oh my God. You're so uncultured, man. God, get with the program. What are they teaching you down there in Little Rock?
You know what? I was gonna pick Memphis just to spite Josh, but you know what? Since you guys wanted to side with him, I'll side with him as well. Let's support our buddy.
Yeah. Well, we're all going to get no points because they're probably going to lose. But hey,
Thomas. Side note: can you tell DeAndre Swift maybe we don't get him in the end zone this week?
Well, they already scored, I believe. So
how's your guys' fantasy football playoffs going, guys?
Shut up.
I'm in one of
Move
our
on.
com
This
radio
is a
leagues.
college.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Football.
Sorry,
This
just
is a
wanted to
college
Sorry,
throw
I'm too
football
focused on my
podcast.
big boy job to care about fantasy.
Oh wow! All right.
Yeah,
That
Let's
was
get into the
another
famous-
hard. Wait, that was another hard line, Mike. Low-key.
Well, let's talk about one of my favorite bowls, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl.
This is played on the blue field.
Oh, there you go. This is 2 6-6 teams: Washington State and Utah State. Josh.
Utah State did keep it close against Boise a few weeks ago. And Washington State is just, I don't know what's going on for Wazoo, but they just hired a interesting new head coach. So I'm gonna go with Utah State in this one.
Justin.
Josh, you said something about Utah State keeping it close with Utah, but I was once told there's a saying in the South.
I said Boise State, but
oh, Boise State. Sorry, my
It was the
bad.
blue field.
It was the blue field. I was once told there's a saying in the South that close
Only
only
in the
counts.
South.
Yeah. What? Can you say it again?
horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah, that's the part I need. I always forget it. I think I mix up the order too much. Neither of these teams are really that good. Let's go Washington State. Why not? Pac-12 survives.
Dylan.
I'll go with honestly my real same justification for NC State. I'm going to reward continuity in the postseason. So with NC State still having the same head coach, for better or for worse, I'll also do the same thing for Utah State.
For worse. But
I have the same feeling as Justin. I don't really know. I'm just gonna go with Washington State, and Utah State's gonna go to 6 and 7 on the year. So
oh my
I'm gonna
God.
go there.
All right, end the podcast. Pack it up, buddy.
All right, let's go to our next matchups. The Bush's Boca Raton Bowl. I believe that's how you say it. No? Yes.
Boca Raton, yeah.
Okay.
And this is
Toledo
Bush's baked beans for anyone wondering.
Yes.
Love their baked beans.
Toledo and Louisville both 8 and 4. Josh.
Yeah, Louisville just absolutely smoked, and I mean, I don't know if we can really consider Kentucky a true SEC school, but they did. And Louisville, all things considered, still had a pretty solid season. I like what Jeff Brom's done. Give me the ACC to win at least one bowl game.
Justin.
Thought we were getting a Jeff Brown mention when you were saying Jeff Brom.
I almost slipped.
Shout out
I wish
Jeff
he
Brown.
coached a football team.
The thing is that the ACC sucked this year. I can't actually reason anything other than Louisville winning this game by a lot. So give me the Cardinals.
Dylan.
Why are we eating baked beans in Florida this time? Louisville.
I'm going to take Louisville as well. Just give the ACC a win this year after they had a bad year. Next is the New Orleans Bowl, which you guys have been to New Orleans, right? You, Justin and Dylan?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Great place.
Western
What's that?
Kentucky and Southern Miss, 8 and 4 for Western Kentucky, 7 and 5 for Southern Miss. Josh?
Western Kentucky has the best mascot in all of college football, so they will win.
All righty. Justin?
I think Western Kentucky is going to win, not because they have a better mascot, but because they have a better team. So give me the Hilltoppers.
Dylan?
I actually agree. Both with the mascot and the quality of play.
I agree as well. Western Kentucky
Great.
is going to be my pick. Let's go with the sweep there. All right, let's move to the Scooters
Enjoy the win,
Coffee
Southern Miss.
Frisco Bowl. I think
Oh, wait, can you repeat that? What did you just say?
the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Wow.
That's
Scooters
Which
is
Scooters?
actually really good. They have them up here.
yeah. There's one here too. I'm assuming Dylan has one by him.
I think we
guess.
should. I think we should probably skip this bowl because of one of the teams playing in it.
No,
Well, we already
have
know what
to
Dylan's
we
picking.
have to talk about this one. It's UNLV and Ohio. 10 and 3 UNLV, 8 and 4 Ohio. Josh.
Parker Navarro. I just wanted to quote Timothy Chalamet from last year. No, Dan Mullen's going to win this game. UNLV.
Justin.
UNLV is a much better team. Dan Mullen didn't get a head coaching job at a better school, which I thought he might. Hey, Michigan's open, I guess, if he really wants it. But I have UNLV winning this football game.
And Dylan.
My favorite team versus my least favorite state on God's green.
Tough one.
Give me Ohio. No, I'm kidding. Go. Give me the Rebels, baby.
That would have been an all-time line.
Give me the Rebels.
I'm going to go with the Rebels as well. I just, I want to give UNLV a good end to their season. All
Thank you,
righty,
guys.
Christmas
I appreciate
Eve.
that. Ohio's going to win by 5 now.
I don't like that they have a
Christmas
couple
Eve
states in there.
game, the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl is Cal and Hawaii 7-5, Cal 8-4 Hawaii. Josh?
I've been high and I've also been low on this Cal team because every time I picked them for an upset, they didn't win. And then when I didn't pick them, they did get the upset, which means I'm going to pick Cal and they're going to lose. But I do really like this Cal team. Again, I can't say their freshman quarterback's name, but he's been fantastic. The reason that we have 2 group of 5 teams in the college football playoff is technically because of Cal. So let's go Cal.
Justin?
Yeah, just like Josh, I'm also not going to try that guy's name again because I butcher it every time. But Cal is a better team here. Hawaii, I think it's a little unfair that they get home field advantage for a bowl game. I don't know if that's really allowed, but hey, to each their own, I guess. Hawaii's had a fun year. They have a really good kicker that was a finalist for the Lou Grosso Award. Kicker won't matter here. Cal's going to run all over this game. And by run, I mean pass. And by pass, I mean score touchdowns. Give me Cal.
Dylan?
Great freshman quarterback. Things are looking up for Cal. However, this is a home game for Hawaii. They don't have to go far, but Hawaii doesn't really have any fans. It's Christmas Eve. The Rainbow Warriors, they can just get their Christmas preparations ready, and Santa will come to town, and so will Cal to kick some rear.
I'm going to take Hawaii here. The home field advantage, I think, will help them. And you know what? They'll get an early Christmas present. Give me Hawaii and the Rainbow Warriors. All righty, let's go.
Is that Thomas taking a risk?
Is that a risk, really, though? I mean,
yeah, you're the only one that picked them.
It's an 8-4 team against a 7-5 team. I don't know if I would consider that much of a risk.
Yes,
But,
it only matters about the rules.
All right, let's go to the Game Above Sports Bowl, which is Central Michigan and Northwestern. Josh?
Big Ten is a lot tougher conference to play in, and Northwestern has kept it close and has beaten some decent teams. I'm not really going to consider Penn State a decent team this year, but they kept it close against the only Michigan mention that I'll probably have on this podcast a few weeks ago. So let's go Northwestern.
Justin?
This is the MAC versus the Big Ten. The Big Ten is the better conference. Northwestern's a better team. Really all I have to say on this one, Northwestern.
Dylan?
We're due for one of these games. It won't be here, though. Give me Northwestern.
All righty. Well, I'm going to go Northwestern as well. I think despite their 6-6 record, I think they're a good team.
I'm going to have to start taking some chances here. So actually, I'm going to flip. Give me Central Michigan because
you're down.
We're playing this economically. I need a chance to win this thing. So give me
the
them.
Chippewas, right? Isn't that what they are?
Something like that.
All right, so Dylan's going to go with the Chippewas. I'll go with Northwestern. Let's go to the Rate Bowl, which is New Mexico and Minnesota. New Mexico's 9-3, Minnesota 7-5. Josh?
Similar kind of thing with the Big Ten being a better conference. Also, I live in the state of Minnesota, and I love PJ Fleck. Doesn't lose bowl games very often, so go Gophers.
Justin?
I'm agreeing with Josh a lot today, and I was going to mix it up here. I kind of thought he was going to roll New Mexico. I don't know why I thought that. But Minnesota's a better team. I said a couple weeks ago on the podcast that Minnesota and PJ Fleck always finish with 8 wins. They're at 7 right now, which, by math, 8 minus 7 equals 1, which means he has 1 more to get. He's going to get it here. So give me Minnesota. The Golden Gophers.
Dylan?
Row the boats, baby.
Ski-uma.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Golden Gophers as well in this one, and they'll take the Rate Bowl. Let's go to the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl, which is FIU and UTSA, and that will be the day after Christmas. Josh, who do you like?
I don't know a whole lot about either of these teams. I do know that UTSA does normally put up a pretty good fight regardless of who they play, and I really like the Roadrunners. And I just don't want to pick a team that names their stadium after Pitbull, so let's go UTSA.
Justin?
Yeah. Didn't this FIU team keep it close with Penn State for a while?
Does that matter in this year's Penn State team?
No, not one
You
bit.
said they're a top 5 talent roster.
Ooh.
Also, almost only counts in horseshoes and
hand grenades. Sang in the
Josh is
South.
cooking today.
I can't say it anymore. I don't live there anymore.
Ooh, well, you'll be back there, I think, right?
Probably.
For visits.
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll FIU just because I don't want to follow Josh because him and I are
We're tied
tied.
in
So
points.
somewhere
Yeah.
we have to change. So give
We
me
got to start
FIU.
figuring out.
Dylan?
Gentlemen, have you ever seen the cartoon with the Roadrunner who's scampering around
Yes.
everywhere? And then you have Pitbull and Mr. Worldwide. Um, I'm really torn here just simply because of pop culture references, not because of quality play on the field. UTSA lost a lot of close games this year, and quality of play wasn't too bad. I'm going to go with UTSA. I think they actually are a better team than FIU. And I'm going to go with the little Roadrunner instead of Mr. Worldwide.
I'm going to go with FIU here. I again don't really know too much about these two teams, but FIU, I saw them play Penn State. Sure, they kept it close for a little bit, so I'll take FIU. All right, now a matchup that we are all invested in. The Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl is Penn State and Clemson. A matchup we thought was going to be in a college football playoff is now in the Pinstripe Bowl. Penn State is 6-6, Clemson 7-5. Josh?
This one's tough because, I mean, Penn State's got a lot of opt-outs, but they just finally hired a head coach a few weeks ago. They've retained a good chunk of the roster. It seems like there's only been 2 guys that have entered the transfer portal, and Terry Smith is staying, which I think is the biggest key for a lot of the guys on this team that are playing in this bowl game. So I'm going to go with Penn State.
Justin?
I don't know much about Clemson, but what I'm calling this bowl is the Justin Chevalella's final 2 schools before going to college bowl, because these were my final 2 options. It's a fun game. It's going to be interesting. I think it's probably one of the better bowl matchups, even though it's 7-5 and 6-6. Because, like Josh said, these two should have been playing we're projected to play in actual postseason play. I kind of want to lean Clemson here. I think Clemson's the better team. Penn State already dealing with a couple opt-outs because of the NFL draft. I have a feeling those are going to hit Clemson too at some point. Terry Smith has me fired up, has Penn State fired up, and I'm never going to pick against Penn State. I got it right here. Give me the Nittany Lions in the Bad Boys Mower Pinstripe Bowl.
Dylan?
This is the game of what could have been. I mean, I think there's at least one of us who on the Catskill Sportsport with Dylan Price to kick off this college football season predicted that these would be 2 of the final 4 teams left standing. Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller came in the same class, were heralded, expected to be the future for both of their programs. Clemson, that future actually looked worse than their past. And for Drew Aller, he's prepping for the NFL draft. Klubnik will be joining him soon. A lot of the same faces that we would thought have been playing when these two would have matched up won't even be playing. They'll be getting ready for the NFL draft. And Penn State's coach that would have been on the sideline is now in Blacksburg, stealing half their roster. And instead, Terry Smith is the coach. Are these all things that we would have thought we would have been saying about either of these teams when we taped back in the summer? No, but life changes. A lot of things change. Hell, 3 of the 4 of us are in different states than we were the last time we recorded this. Gentlemen, I am going to say one thing remains the same. My faith, my passion has been reinstilled in the blue and white. Can we get a "we are"?
Penn State.
Penn State.
That was so.
I did not want to be the first one to say it.
Also, when you said your faith has been restored, my head went to Dabo doesn't like using NIL. He likes using the Lord and Savior as his NIL. So that's where I thought you were going.
In all seriousness, I am going to take Penn State, but there's a part of me that really does think, yeah. Anyways,
well, let's hope.
I'm gonna take Penn State too. Who would I be if Penn State alumni if I didn't pick them? So I'll take them, and got to be cool for Justin and Dylan to have them being played in Yankee Stadium. So give me Penn State.
Find us on Bomber Boys at some point.
Our teams lose there all the time, so.
True.
Well, yeah. But all right, let's move on to the Go Bowling, which is an interesting name for a bowl game. Go Bowling Military Bowl. Pitt and East Carolina both 8-4.
I mean, these are 2 teams that, as a Penn State and an NC State fan, I hope both teams get stomach bugs and can't play. But ECU's been here before. They won the Military Bowl last year. I don't think Pitt's all that good. I got to take a little bit of a risk. I think Pitt's probably projected to win because they're ACC versus ECU. So I'm going to go with ECU, though. I don't know. There's just ECU, when it comes to bowling, they pick up the pace. They find a different gear every year.
Justin?
To be honest, I skipped over this one and didn't know it existed. Pitt's the better team, though. Give me Pitt.
Dylan?
I gotta take some risks.
Dylan?
I said Pitt. You guys want me to be
Oh,
faster?
sorry.
I was faster. Jeez.
Sorry, I did hear.
Weren't paying
I'm
attention.
going to
Pick up the
Pitt
pace,
as
Tommy.
well.
Let's go.
Pitt gave me a big win over Georgia Tech, so give me Pitt.
You're
You're
still beating your drum on that one?
Yes.
Yes, every week he's gonna do it.
You're still talking about the Miami-Louisville game, so I don't want to hear it.
Because you guys didn't give me my half a point.
All right, let's move to the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Some of these names are just Wasabi Fenway Bowl.
Okay, I did hear you correctly.
It's UConn and Army. UConn's 9-3, Army's 6-5. Josh?
One of these teams is ranked in our college football poll, and that is all you need to know. Go Huskies.
Justin?
Yeah, but that team also lost its head coach. I love UConn. I've been the one telling you to put them in the top 25 for the last couple weeks, months, who knows at this point. Army put up a heck of a fight that I didn't expect yesterday against Navy. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Army here.
Dylan?
Army actually looked pretty solid against Navy, and I'm going to agree with Justin here. UConn's down their head man. I'm rewarding continuity and consistency. Go Army. Beat UConn.
Doesn't quite sound right, but I'm going to take UConn to beat Army in this game. I don't know. I just have a feeling. All right, let's move on to my favorite bowl game. Maybe some of your guys' as well. It is the Pop-Tarts Bowl. This is going to be a fun one. It is a good matchup here, too. Although it could have been Notre Dame BYU. It is now Georgia Tech BYU. Georgia Tech is 22 in the college football playoff rankings. BYU just missed it at 12. 11-2 for BYU, 9-3 for Georgia Tech. Josh?
BYU, I will stand on this. Hill deserves to be in the college football playoff, being a Power 4 team that only had one regular season loss, and both of their losses coming to a top 4 team in the country. Georgia Tech, happy to be there because Notre Dame decided to throw a pissy fit that they don't get to be in the college football playoff and they don't deserve to be. Despite that, BYU is going to win this game. They're actually going to continue to finish their season, finish what they started, and prove. I think it'll be similar to that TCU situation back in 2016. I think it was where they were left out of the college football playoff and then dominated their bowl game. I think we'll see something like that. BYU.
Justin?
Yeah, I got Notre Dame. I think they were a better team this year. I think they kind of deserved that. Oh, my bad.
Oh, they opted out. It's
Kalani
okay. They get a freebie next year.
Kalani Sitake's a big old jolly man. Great head coach. I just like BYU. I think they should realistically probably be in the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. We've all heard it. Bear Bachmeier is a good quarterback as a freshman. Would have liked him at Penn State next year, blah, blah, blah. Give me BYU.
Dylan?
I'm really struggling with this game. I really like both of these teams. This is my favorite bowl game. This feels like the game of the teams that – I mean, this is the best bowl game at this point, year in, year out. I'm going to go with Bear and Kalani just because I simply want to see that big man pick up a big Pop-Tart. Give me Kalani eating that thing.
Oh, I don't know if I like that, but I'm going to go with BYU as well. I just think Georgia Tech didn't have a great year late.
They have a great year. They went 9-3.
Late. I said late in the season. You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
Late in the season. So give me BYU. All right, let's go to Arizona, where the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl is being played. It's Miami, Ohio, and Fresno State. Fresno State is 8-4. Miami, Ohio is 7-6. Josh?
I don't know a whole lot about these two teams, to be completely honest, and we do kind of have to really pick up the pace. Fresno State.
Justin?
I've got Fresno State.
Dylan?
Miami, Ohio. Go Redhawks.
We should probably add Thomas back, huh?
Alrighty. Sorry, guys. The technical difficulty issue there. But let's move on. Our next game
Who are you
here.
picking? Who are you picking?
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna go with Miami, Ohio in this one. I don't know. I have a feeling that they're gonna win that one. And I don't know. That was just a random pick for me. Let's go to the. I don't know how to say that first one. That first name. Is Letta? Is that what we're going with?
We'll rock with that.
Isleta.
Isleta New Mexico Bowl. This is North Texas and San Diego State. Josh, who do you like?
North Texas. I love Drew Messamaker. They just got Brian Hartline as their head coach. Yeah.
No, they didn't, but good try.
North Texas?
No, he's going to USF.
Oh, I completely got that wrong. Doesn't matter. Drew Messamaker is awesome. I got my green teams mixed up.
Drew Mestemaker made his name in a bowl game last year, and I think he just has another good performance. Plus, North Texas is just an all-around better team. North Texas.
It's like what I would call a tryout for and an audition for what team are you going to play on in the Big Ten or SEC next year. Give me North Texas. Mestemaker has like 7 touchdowns.
I'm going to go with North Texas as well. I think this game is not going to be really that competitive. So give me North Texas in this matchup. Let's go to the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl for our next matchup. That is a good matchup here. Number 19, Virginia against Missouri in Jacksonville, Florida. Josh?
Yeah, these are two teams that I don't really think have either kind of proved themselves at all. Mizzou, I don't think has actually beaten a team above 500 this season. But regardless of that, Virginia was only ranked because they beat a Florida State team when they were ranked top 10. So I'm gonna pick the SEC over the ACC every single time. I don't think Virginia's that good. So yeah, Missouri.
Justin?
You guys know my thoughts from previous episodes. This Virginia team is a fluke. Josh had a great line earlier about, having a real man job and not fantasy. I think UVA's season has been fantasy, and they're going to be smacked into reality when Bo Perbula goes off in this bowl game for Mizzou. And by Bo, I really mean Ahmad Hardy.
Dylan?
Give me Mizzou. They're the superior team. Thomas, if you can get out of your potato that you're recording on right now.
The Idaho Potato Bowl is where he's recording from.
The blue field.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm going to go with Missouri in this one, and then I'm going to try to fix my Wi-Fi issues. But let's go to the Kinder's Texas Bowl, where LSU is facing Houston.
Yeah, I mean, Houston's ranked. I think they've had a good season, but I think LSU finally got rid of the voodoo of Brian Kelly being around their team. I think they're a lot more just sort of – they're just going to be a better team, LSU. No more Brian Kelly means a win.
Lane Kiffin's not coaching this game. I don't know who's playing for LSU, but I know that LSU's backups are probably better than Houston's starters. No offense to Houston. It's just the nature of college football. Give me the Louisiana State University Tigers.
Dylan?
Gawks Tigers.
Gawks Tigers. Wow.
I'm going to take Houston in this one. Home field advantage, I guess. Night
Home
game.
state?
Huh?
Home state, I guess.
Yeah.
Something like
I'm going to
that.
go with Houston. All righty, let's go to is it just J-Lab, I guess? J-Lab Birmingham Bowl. Georgia
Unless
Southern.
it's Jalab. Like, I don't know what else it would be.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Or they might just say JLAB. I don't know. Georgia Southern versus App State. Josh, who do you like?
I don't know a whole lot about these two teams. I know that Boone, North Carolina, and App State is one of the most beautiful campuses in all of college. So go App State.
Justin?
Yeah, App State doesn't actually belong in a bowl game because there was too many opt-outs. They got one. Give me Georgia Southern.
Dylan?
I feel rather confident that I'm going to say App State simply for Luke Combs.
I'm going to say App State as well, just because they were one of the teams I used for Dynasty in college football. Let's go to the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. Again, another wild name. But Coastal Carolina against Louisiana Tech in Louisiana. Josh, who do you like?
Home game for LA Tech. Coastal Carolina not playing on their gorgeous teal field, despite what Dylan will say about off-colored fields. LA Tech, though.
Justin?
Yeah, let's roll the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech. Why not?
Dylan?
I'm going with Coastal, even though their field's ugly.
I'm a big fan of Coastal too. They have a beautiful campus, so I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina.
Next up is the Liberty Mutual Music City Bowl.
Liberty.
Yeah, I was waiting for someone to do it. Tennessee against Illinois in Nashville from Nissan Stadium. We actually saw that this spring. Tennessee and Illinois. Josh, who do you like?
Basically a home game for Tennessee. I mean, I don't know. I hate on this Tennessee team a lot because they've lost to the only good teams that they've played. But they also didn't lose to Wisconsin like Illinois did. So I'm going to go with the Volunteers.
Justin?
This is a game of two teams that I think a lot of people expected to be better. And if they looked at their 8-4 records, they said, oh, they had good years. But when you really dig down into it, both these teams disappointed in terms of where they probably should have finished and the games they kind of played. I don't know. Josh Heupel doesn't like low expectations. So I'm going to set the bar high for him and tell him he's got to win this bowl. So give me the Tennessee Volunteers.
Dylan?
I think Tennessee's one of these teams that could be primed for a leap next year, even though I'm not the biggest fan of them. I think them getting Jim Knowles is going to be seen as one of the most underratedly strong moves. They already have a rather solid offense. If that defense can be relatively competent, they can improve to maybe 9-3 next year. Anyways, yeah, give me Tennessee. Go Vols.
I'm going to take Tennessee as well. I think the offense will just be too much for Illinois to handle. And, like you said, I think that Jim Knowles move is going to be a good one. Let's go to the Valero Alamo Bowl. In San Antonio, USC and TCU. Josh?
USC's had a great year. They also just signed the best recruiting class for next season. I love what Lincoln Riley is doing out there on the West Coast. Go Trojans.
Justin?
Does anyone remember the 2016 Alamo Bowl where Oregon was up 31-0 at halftime on TCU, and the game went into 3 overtimes? It was one of the best bowl games I think we've ever had. I expect a high-scoring affair just like this one or like that one. These two teams have not had defenses all year. We know Lincoln Riley prides himself on offense. TCU's kind of been the same way all year with Sonny Dykes. Offense. I think we're getting like a 55-50 game. At the end of it, USC is just a stronger team. And look, they're already re-signing players in free agency, so that's good for them. So give me USC.
Dylan?
Remember the Alamo. I actually think TCU pulls off the upset in this game. I think USC is the better team, but I think TCU pulls off the upset. There are a lot of seniors on this team. This is their last dance, and they started the season with an emphatic win against UNC and Chapel Hill. I think they end the season with a pretty impressive upset win over the USC Trojans.
I'm going to go with USC in this matchup. USC has done good for me in the games I've picked, so I'm going to take USC. Let's go to New Year's Eve, the ReliaQuest Bowl at noon with Iowa and Vanderbilt. That should be a good matchup in Tampa. Josh?
Despite what you want to say about Diego Pavia, he's a pretty good quarterback. I think Vandy's a better team than Iowa. I think it'll be close, but Vandy.
Justin?
I'm going to go Vanderbilt. I like Iowa. I just don't think they have what it takes to stay up with them.
Dylan?
I'm going with Iowa. I think they're going to be the team that can stymie Diego Pavia a little bit. Him saying, quote unquote, F all the Heisman voters. I hope Iowa puts a red dot on his head and makes him a target. I think they're really going to be able to swallow him up in this game, to be in a less gruesome sense. I think they'll be able to swallow him up in this game. And I don't think Pavia is going to be able to do too much.
I'm going to go with Iowa as well. I'm just, I didn't like Pavia's little media run that he went on there. So give me Iowa in the Big Ten. Let's go to the
Vandy on the sheet. But.
What's that?
Oh, I wrote Vandy for him. I thought that's where he was going.
No. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl in El Paso, Arizona State against Duke. Josh?
Is Sam Levitt playing in this game, or is he opting out?
I believe he'll opt out.
I believe he's out.
Okay, then give me Darian Mensa and Duke. Manny Diaz, big win.
Justin?
Kenny Dillingham isn't going to Michigan, and he moved back practice to play basketball. So clearly that's how much he cares about this game. A lot of his guys are leaving, but he likes to let them play still. I'm going to go with Arizona State. Whenever your coach has the swagger to straight up say he moved practice because he wanted to hoop in the morning, that's a pretty good sign. Give me the Sun Devils.
Dylan?
Duke ends the year as a conference champion and a Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl winner. Also, Gary Danielson's last call. So tribute to one of the best duos with Vern Lundquist in broadcasting history.
I'm going to go with Duke as well. Big win for them in the ACC championship. That was cool to see. So give them another win to end the year strong. This is a really good bowl game, I think. Cheez-It Citrus Bowl, Michigan against Texas in Orlando. Josh?
Yeah, Michigan's an absolute dumpster fire with whatever the heck is going on up there in Ann Arbor. So Texas.
Justin?
Doesn't matter who's coaching. Michigan was never winning this game. They're just not good enough. A battle of two quarterbacks that rather were disappointing this year, but one of them actually turned it on in the second half of the year, and that was Arch Manning. As much as I hate to do it, I'll always be horns down, but Texas is winning this one.
Dylan?
Yeah, I think Texas is going to kind of lay the hammer down. Too much going on with Michigan right now, and Biff Poggi, he might do a great job, but it's not going to be enough. Texas is the better team, and they're trying to make a statement.
I'm going to take Texas as well in a big way. Again, Michigan's got too much going on. Texas, strong year for them, just weren't able to get in. Let's go to the SRS Distribution Las Vegas Bowl. It's Nebraska and Utah from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Josh?
Yeah, this is Kyle Whittingham's last game as a head coach, and he's going to go out with a bang with a win over Matt Rule in Nebraska.
Justin?
Utah's battled up and down all year, but at the end of the day, Nebraska's just been down all year. So give me Utah.
Dylan?
Fitting send-off to one of the best active coaches. Kyle Whittingham gets one more win.
I'm gonna say the same thing. I think Utah gets a nice win here after they had a good season and I think kind of flew under the radar in the rankings a little bit. So give me Utah. All right, now on to our last day of games. This is January 2nd, the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. This is Rice and Texas State in Fort Worth.
I swear you're making bowl games up at this point.
I feel like I am.
Texas State is going to cement themselves as one of the new Pac-12 teams starting next season with a big bowl win over Rice.
Justin?
Texas State and cementing in the same sentence is really kind of funny. I didn't want to pick against Rice because I had Rice for dinner last night, so I'm not going to pick against Rice, even though Texas State's probably the better team here. Give me Rice.
Hey, it's a good risk there. We like it.
I'm going to go Texas State.
I'm going to go Rice. I also had Rice for dinner last night, actually, so I'm going to go there with Justin. We're going to go on the food side of things. Let's go to the AutoZone Liberty Bowl, where Navy is playing Cincinnati. A sneaky good game here in Memphis. Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I like Navy. I like Cincinnati. I don't know. I got to go against Justin, and he put in the sheet that he's picking a different team than me. So I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
Justin?
Maybe it was a smokescreen. It wasn't. Go Navy. Beat Cincy.
Dylan?
I'll double down on it. And for one more time this season, I'll get to use the Skyline Chili.
Oh, no. I'm going to go Navy. Get behind our forces. So I'll take Navy.
Look at you. I always thought they said Tommy doesn't support the armed forces.
He did say he was
Chili instead.
I did say one of my favorite things is that they do the student exchange between Navy, Army, and some of the armed forces. I think that's a very cool thing. And
this is not a real bowl game. What are we doing? Jesus.
Yeah, well, we have the you may have skipped one here. We may have to go back, but it's the Trust and Will Holiday Bowl at Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego.
This isn't a real thing.
It's Arizona and SMU, Josh.
SMU, you couldn't win the ACC, so you're not winning this game. Arizona, I don't know.
Justin?
SMU lost in December last year, and they lost rather badly at Beaver Stadium. They got to win sometime in December, right? Postseason win for them. Sure, Kevin Jennings, go to the NFL. Don't know if he'll actually get drafted, but hey, this is a way. I think he's a senior. I think he's out of eligibility. If not, don't listen to what I'm saying. But what I will say is Kevin Jennings will have a good game down in Arizona or wherever this bowl is being played. Give me SMU.
Dylan?
Trust it. I guess Kevin Jennings will win the Holiday Bowl. Yeah, this sucks. SMU. I'm sorry, guys. It was my idea to pick every bowl game, and this is aged like milk. This is awful.
I'm gonna go with Arizona in this matchup. I don't know. I just have.
We're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks at this point.
Yeah. All right, we got one more, right, Justin? Before we get,
I think we got like half a dozen more, to be honest with you.
Well, we got one more of the actual.
One more on the sheet. We have to end it after that. We have to.
The Duke's Mayo Bowl. So, which coach will be doused in mayo?
Never mind, I'm back in.
Wake Forest or Mississippi State, Josh?
Mississippi State, the best 5-7 team in the country. I'll say it. No one else will say it. Go Bulldogs.
Justin?
It's crazy that the coach gets dumped in Mayo, and I couldn't even tell you who the two coaches of these programs are. Give me Mississippi State.
Dylan?
Joshua, I want to hear you say it one more time. Say go Bulldogs.
Go Bulldogs.
Not so fast, my friend. Wake Forest, baby.
That was good. I knew it was coming too. I'm going to go with Mississippi State in this one. I don't know. I just have a feeling again. That rounds out all of the bowl games.
You sure we didn't forget the? I don't even know.
No, it doesn't even matter. I don't care. My brain.
It doesn't matter at this point. All right, let's get into it. The first round of the college football playoff. Because of the sake of time, we're going to make you guys wait for our full brackets until the next couple of weeks, and we'll do some episodes.
No, it's because our brains are fried.
Well, that too. But so right now we're just going to pick the first round matchups, and I am going to jot these down so that we can form our brackets. But we will post on social media our full brackets with hypothetical matchups based on what we think. And then as the rounds go, we'll update you with our predictions. So first, we'll start with the number 12 seed JMU, 12-1 at number 5 Oregon in Eugene, who is 11-1. Josh, who do you like?
Again, I already said earlier, I love this Twitter rivalry thing they got going on. I would love to see JMU win. They're not going to. Maybe it'll be close. It'll be fun, but Oregon's just too good.
Justin?
Yeah, there's nothing to be said about this game. Oregon.
Dylan?
I was just going to read one of my favorite tweets from this whole series. JMU is built for tough environments. The Dukes won at Georgia State this season when all of the Panthers fans dressed up like bleachers. Those with a less trained eye might have even believed the crowd was empty. The other one, they just came across a stunning stat in JMU Oregon research. The Ducks are winless against Sunbelt teams in 2025. JMU, 9-0 against the Sunbelt. Makes you think. Yeah, it makes me think that I'm going to miss this content. Give me the Ducks. And I would love to see a JMU upset, but let's be real here. This isn't going to work out.
I think my favorite is the one where they get the slow down footage of Oregon versus Penn State. They go, what is going on? They might be the slowest team in the country.
JMU fans are just embracing it at this point, and I love it.
They're awesome.
Yeah. Dude. I'm going to go with Oregon in a big way as well. I like you guys are saying. I like JMU. I like their story. I'm glad they got in. But at the end of the day, it's not going to go well for them. So give me Oregon. Let's move on to our 8-9 matchup. Oklahoma is the 8 seed. They're hosting Alabama in Norman. Alabama obviously 10-3 after an SEC championship loss. Oklahoma 10-2. This is a good matchup. Josh, who do you like?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to beat the same team twice. As we know, especially in the SEC, but Alabama has not looked good for about a month and a half. They struggled against Auburn. They were non-existent against Georgia. I don't think Oklahoma is necessarily that great either, but their defense is so good, and Alabama's just looked stagnant. Give me the Sooners. Boomer Sooner, baby.
Justin?
Yeah, this is a fun game, but I think if you look at the first time these two teams played, Alabama actually had a lot of success on offense except for turnovers. That's where they lost that game. They were able to move the ball. They just weren't able to finish in the red zone. And to me, that's going to fix itself this week. I think Alabama coming off, a rather punch in the face against Georgia, knowing they probably shouldn't be in this college football playoff, they're motivated. And at the end of the day, I think this Oklahoma team, they've kind of coasted under people's radar all year, and I think that gets kind of shown this week or next week, whatever it is. So give me Alabama.
Dylan?
I tend to agree with a lot of what Justin just said. I think the better team lost that game. the last time these two teams played. I do think Oklahoma is back to that team that we had so highly rated in the first half of the season. I think John Mateer's healthy again. I think this defense is playing like their hair's on fire. And I do think that Alabama team got embarrassed, frankly, against Georgia. But there's one thing about Kalen DeBoer. There's one thing about this Alabama team is that they've been smacked in the mouth a number of times this season, and they've got back up and gotten back up stronger. I still think from a talent perspective, Alabama is one of the two best teams in the country. But again, if games were played on paper, Indiana wouldn't be the Big Ten champion. And if games were played on paper, hey, what was that you said again, Justin? Penn State would be a top 5 team in the country. Yeah, games aren't played on paper for a reason.
I didn't say that this week.
I think the better team is Alabama, and I think the better team rises to the occasion. And as much as I want to yell Boomer sooner, I'm actually going to say Roll Tide.
I think we've already seen that it's hard to beat a team twice in a year with Georgia and Alabama. And it's, again, I think it's hard to beat a team twice in a year. So I'm going to take Alabama as well because I think they are a good team. And I think Georgia just is making them seem like they're not as good as we thought. But I think against Oklahoma, especially with the rest, we saw that rest wasn't necessarily the best thing for some teams. So give me Alabama in that matchup. Let's move on to an interesting matchup, actually a rematch from earlier this season. Number 11 Tulane, after they won their conference, they're on the road to play Ole Miss in that contest. That's the 11 versus 6 matchup. 11 wins for both sides. Josh, who do you like?
I think this has potential to be one of the more interesting matchups in the first round. But even despite the fact that Ole Miss lost Lane Kiffin, the way that they've rallied these last few weeks behind the new head coach and just seemingly kind of want to stick it to Lane Kiffin. There's more talent on this Ole Miss team. It's a home game. The Rebels will probably win. I got the Ole Miss.
Justin?
Every week, there's something in college football that goes on unexpectedly. And Tulane has the option to do that this week. And if I had a long shot to make in the college football playoff, I would make my lock, or rather my long shot, be Tulane winning. But I'm not going to be dumb. I'm going to be smart. Pete Golding's going to be fine because of talent. Ole Miss is going to win. But I am just saying and putting it out there, I'm not asking for an extra half point. I just want this out on a recording on the internet. I do believe Tulane keeps this game close and will have the chance to win the game in the fourth quarter. I just think Ole Miss wins it.
Dylan?
Thomas, what are you doing next Saturday?
Next Saturday?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know yet.
We'll have to revisit this conversation.
Have fun in Mississippi.
My wheels are spinning because I think Oxford's going to be a place worth visiting, even if you're 6 hours away like Thomas is, and only I think like 2.5 for me, by the way. But anyways, that's going to be a hostile environment, not because of Tulane, but because they're going to look at every single Tulane player like they've got Lane Kiffin's face on them. This is an Ole Miss team that's been pissed off since he took the plane from Oxford to Baton Rouge. This is an Ole Miss team that Pete Golding's got fired up. It seems like Golding didn't like Kiffin much. It seems like the players at this point have done a 180 on Kiffin, and it seems like this is an Ole Miss team that's angry, they're mad, and they're out for blood. Tulane's got a coach that's coaching 2 teams at one time right now, and John Summerall feels like this guy's just exhausted. He just wants it to come to an end. I know that's not true. I know he wants to see them pull off an upset unlike any other, but the reality in this is simple. Ole Miss is the better team from a talent perspective, and when Lane Kiffin left, he poured gasoline on a burgeoning fire. This is an Ole Miss team that I think is capable of being this year's Cinderella story. Give me the Rebels.
I completely agree with that, Dylan. I think this is an Ole Miss team now that has extra fire. Well, we can talk about that.
For the low price of $386 per ticket, you guys can go.
Yeah, we're rolling in that cash as freshly graduated journalism students.
Oh, lordy. But I think Ole Miss is a good story. I think they got a good path here because they know they can, they know they can compete with the Georgia team. So if they can get through this Tulane team, which is going to be a much closer matchup than the last one, I think we can all agree with that. And you know what? I think one loss to Georgia, they've proven that they're one of the top teams in this playoff run. So give me Ole Miss in this one. Although I agree with Justin, I think it'll be a really, really close game. Let's move on to our final matchup of this episode in the first round. It's an interesting one because of the whole situation with the last spot getting in. Miami is in as the 10 seed. They're on the road to face Texas A&M, who is the 7 seed. This is an interesting matchup. Miami is 10-2. Texas A&M is 11-1 with their lone loss coming right at the end of the year. So, Josh, who do you like?
I mean, if we want to go by common opponent and Notre Dame and all that stuff, Miami is better in that regard. But also, I'm just picking Miami for the fun fact that I think the best possible justice would be for Notre Dame to continue to be whining and complaining this entire postseason just to watch Miami win in the first round and prove that they actually deserve to be there. Let's be known that Texas A&M, besides that Notre Dame win that came on a botched extra point, they didn't play anybody. They played the entire bottom half of the SEC. They got exposed against a Texas team that really isn't necessarily that good. They played better towards the end of the year. I'll give them that. But it's an underwhelming Texas team. So Texas A&M hasn't really been tested. This will be the first time since they played Texas. Maybe they'll switch things around. But I think the best justice and the best music to my ears would be Miami winning on the road and really sticking it to Notre Dame. So that is why I'm picking Miami.
Justin?
I thought I was going to be alone. I really did.
Wow.
You guys know that I have said all year that Texas A&M was due. They were due for a loss, and they got that loss. Final game of the season against Texas. They got that loss. They've been sitting on that loss by the time this game rolls around for almost a full month. I think, 3.5 weeks from that loss. The thing is, Miami's fired up because no one believes they should be in. We do, I guess. We think it's the right choice, even though our bracket says otherwise. Notre Dame is saying they don't belong in. The national media is saying that the process is ruined. Whatever the case is, nobody believes in Miami here. But the matter of fact is Miami is loaded with talent. They got Ruben Bain on the defensive side. They've got Malachi Toney, Mark Fletcher. And I'm going to say something that probably be, questioned. Carson Beck is their quarterback. Carson Beck has been there, and he's done it. Been there, done that. Carson Beck has been in the college football playoff before and had success in the college football playoff. Carson Beck is not a quarterback. I know he showed that at times. He is an above-average quarterback that can get the job done if he's smart with the football, and he's going to be smart with the football. Simple matter of fact, I love Marcel Reed. I really do. I like what A&M has put on offensively this year. I don't like what they've put up defensively this year. And honestly, I see it happening. It's kind of like the Notre Dame game where it finished 41-40, but this time it flips and Miami gets the win. So give me the U.
Dylan?
They say pressure makes diamonds. I think both these teams are under a lot of pressure. Texas A&M got upset by Texas and kind of curbed what could have been the most unforeseen perfect season from an SEC team in some time. And then on the Miami end of things, everybody thinks they didn't deserve to be here. Well, at least Notre Dame thinks they didn't deserve to be here. And there are a majority of people who I think would have rather seen Notre Dame play in this game. I think all four of us to some extent included. But as you said, Justin, they've got talent on both sides of the ball. The better team head-to-head got in here. But this game is in Texas A&M. I think it's going to be sloppy. I don't think it's going to be pretty because Carson Beck, pressure hasn't made diamonds in a lot of situations. Pressure's turned him into a puddle. And at the end of the day, Texas A&M, College Station, the 12th man, I've got them playing an impact in this game. I've got them being the difference maker in this game. And ultimately, I've got the Aggies winning this football game.
The ACC has just had such a bad year, and I don't want them to advance, right? And that's simply the reason. But I also think that A&M, I think you have to look at quarterback play, and Marcel Reed has been better than Carson Beck so far this year. And I think that is you have to have good quarterback play to win a national championship. I understand Miami maybe is more balanced on both sides of the ball. I think I would argue that Texas A&M's offense has been much better than Miami. I'm going to go with Texas A&M because I think home field advantage is so important. I know last year, and I really believe I brought this up last year or on the last episode or maybe just in passing to you guys in the group chat, but every single home team lost last year. Or won, sorry. They won. So, it's definitely an advantage, and I think it will come into play as we go on. And then, later in the bracket, I do want to say every single lower seed lost that game after the first round. So I think the higher seeds will have an advantage a little bit here. So I'm going to go with Texas A&M. I know I picked Alabama over OU. That was kind of a special case where I think Bama should be seeded higher than Oklahoma. But I think Texas A&M does win this game. And that is going to wrap up our first round of picks, which is an interesting one. We got a couple of upsets here, a couple of, kind of chalk picks. We're not going to talk about our next round matchups. We're going to go to our locks and long shots. Make sure to tune in for the next episode for the full bracket picks and national champions. Again, we will be doing a bonus point for the national champion pick. But let's get into our locks and long shots. Josh, start us off with your lock.
Yeah,
and this can be for any game, any bowl game, any college football playoff game.
Louisville's like
episode. Oh my god,
-5.5 against who are they even playing? I don't even remember who's Louisville. Who? Toledo. Yeah, they're winning by more than 5. That's my lock. Louisville. I'm not explaining it.
Not gonna lie, I looked at Josh's lock, said can't pick Louisville, went to the betting odds on DraftKings, picked Louisville. And then realized that was the one team I couldn't pick. I have Texas. They're, I think, 7.5 or 6.5, whatever it is, against Michigan.
Dylan?
I don't have the odds up, so someone's going to have to tell me. I forgot.
Just pick UNLV.
They're not going to be my lock, guys. Come on.
Oh, so all of a sudden you don't have faith
They're
in
favored by
-4.
4.5. Yeah.
All right, give me the Rebels.
There you go. Good boy.
I'm going to take BYU -4.5 in a lock in that game. A long shot, Josh.
Considering that I kind of gave a little bit of an explanation that Dave Doran doesn't win bowl games, Memphis is going to be my long shot, even though I love NC State near and dear to my heart. And they're a 4-point favorite, but Dave Doran just never wins bowl games. So that's my long shot.
Justin?
Yeah, I don't remember who LSU was playing again.
Houston.
Houston. LSU's the underdog. Give me LSU.
Dylan?
Come back to me quickly.
All right. Kennesaw State got me a win last time as the underdog. I'm going to take Kennesaw State. I'm going to take Kennesaw State +3.5 against Western Michigan.
He's living in the past, Thomas. Think about the future for once.
You know what?
Coastal over Louisiana Tech.
All righty. And now the pick we have all been waiting for here, gentlemen. We have an extra pick to make today, and it has to do with the Pop-Tarts Bowl. So if you're not aware of the Pop-Tarts Bowl, one thing they have started to do and have continued the tradition is, turning a Pop-Tart mascot into a live edible mascot. Not live. Edible.
Live.
Sorry,
Yeah.
not live. An edible mascot. The first year, it was just one. You didn't get to pick a flavor. Last year, they did 3, and the fans got to vote on a flavor. This year, there are 6 flavors involved. Now, there are 2 teams, so we're going to be each picking our team. And whichever mascots are sacrificed will get a bonus point. There are your flavors. So you have protein, Slammin' Strawberry. You have frosted cookies and cream, frosted cherry. That's your sprinkles side, Team Sprinkles. Team Swirls, you have Captain Chocolate Chip Cookie Dough. You have Frosted Wild Berry and Frosted Hot Fudge Sundae. So, Dylan, we'll start with you. Are you Team Sprinkles or you Team Swirls?
I'm trying not to curse on this podcast. This is a crock of shit that Brown Sugar Cinnamon is on the sidelines. Instead, we got this Captain Protein Slammin' Strawberry. That's a crock of shit. He needs to go sit on the sidelines with his steroid muscles. I don't care that you're trying to push your little protein line. Shut up, Pop-Tarts. Nobody's eating them because they're trying to get ripped. They're eating them because they're sitting on the couch at 3 a.m, hating themselves and hating their life.
That seems a little.
Nobody's eating them because they're trying to get jacked. And
I love Pop-Tarts.
Certainly nobody has ate a Pop-Tart and thought, you know what this is going to do? Make me fit. Make me look like I do steroids. At that point, do Ozempic or do steroids for real. We're not trying to eat protein slamming strawberries. So for simply that alone and the fact that Brown Sugar Cinnamon has to sit on the bench, the better flavors are on the Team Swirl side. Captain Chocolate Chip Cookie Dough, didn't know they make them. About to go get them. This is the best marketing masterclass. Frosted Wild Berry, consistent, Mr. Consistency. He's been burned once. He'll be burned again. Frosted Hot Fudge Sundae. He's just there for a good time. He's bringing up the rear. If I could have made a trade here, I'd bring Frosted Cherry over to the swirl side and throw Frosted Hot Fudge Sundae. He might be the guy who needs to go on the bench next. Brown Sugar Cinnamon got left out, and I'm really sad for him. Frosted Cherry, sorry you're on a losing team with whatever protein bullshit this is. At the end of the day, give me Captain Chocolate Chip Cookie Dough, give me Frosted Wild Berry, give me Team Swirls, and let's pop those fake-ass muscles. Give me Team Swirls all the way.
Team Swirls for Dylan. Justin, who are you riding with?
Man, I couldn't agree more with what Dylan's talking about. Where's Brown Sugar Cinnamon? Where's s'mores? Where are some of these childhood flavors?
S'mores, what a pull.
Look, my favorite one growing up for a while was Frosted Cookies and Cream, which is on Team Sprinkles. But you have to look at this from a perspective of the athletic trainers, the nutrition staff. What's going to go over well? Is it going to be the fun flavors that I would choose, which is Team Swirls, or is it going to be the protein ones, the extra fruit with cherry and strawberry? Which one's really going to go over well with the team? Also, Captain Protein Slam and Strawberry, those muscles kind of look like Kalani Satake right there. He is ripped. He's jacked. It kind of looks like him. I think he's going to take that motto kind of with him. I think they go Team Sprinkles. Look, if I was making a trade, I don't like fruit. We all know this. I'm a guy that just wants the sweet, especially if I'm eating a Pop-Tart. I don't want fruit filling in a Pop-Tart. Those things are 720 calories a piece. Of course I want the better flavors. I would move Frosted Cookies and Cream onto the right side, get rid of Wild Berry, and have the chocolate chip cookie dough, Frosted Cookies and Cream, and Hot Fudge Sundae. But hey, what do I know? I was also hoping Dylan was going to pull out a pack of Pop-Tarts just like he did the tortillas a couple
No, I don't have them.
Ago.
That'll be a later thing. I'll send you guys a video.
But Team Sprinkles here.
Josh?
For our 41st and final pick of the day, by the way.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, look, if you just go to the size advantage, I mean, Team Sprinkles is winning the line of scrimmage on both sides with those muscles. I mean, and that's really what's going to come down to at the end of the day.
This is the most football we've talked all day.
This is the most. Yeah, well, this is the only thing that matters at the end of the day. I mean, they're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. I mean, it doesn't – they haven't done any drug testing yet. I don't think they're doing drug testing until after this game. So I think that Protein Slam and Strawberry is going to be okay to keep playing in this game. And by that metric, I will take Team Sprinkles. Although Brown Sugar Cinnamon has been snubbed in each of the 3 years that we've done the Pop-Tarts Bowl, and it needs to stop. That's my Heisman pick, is Brown Sugar Cinnamon.
Listen, I understand that they're going for sprinkles and swirls, but why is Frosted Cookies and Cream not on the same side as like other things with chocolate and cookies in them? That doesn't make sense to me. But that doesn't make sense to me. Why would you not put Wild Berry with the other fruit?
Tell the people that
Pop-Tarts.
make their rosters
make
to
sense.
switch up like Cookies and Cream does.
I think that
It's called
strawberry
balance.
Pop-Tarts have always been my favorite, but I don't like this protein thing. I agree with Dylan. I'm not sure what that's for. Chocolate chip cookie dough is my favorite in anything, in ice cream and just cookie dough in general and whatever. So, and then who can go away from a hot fudge sundae? I'm not a fan of the cherry Pop-Tart personally. Maybe that's a hot take. I'm not a huge fan of that. I agree brown sugar should be on this list. It's ridiculous that it's not. Same with the s'mores. That's an underrated one. Justin, that was a good call out there. But I'm going to take Team Swirls simply for the fact that chocolate chip cookie dough is the captain. And you know what? I like underdogs in this case. I know the strawberries got the muscles there, but forget it. Give me the swirls, Team Swirls in this one. And that is going to be your Pop-Tart picks for this week. That's a good way to end this episode. It was a longer episode, I know, but
fun fact, it's actually shorter than most of our episodes.
Yeah, well, that is true. But we will have next week, obviously, some updates on some of the games that have happened, and then we'll have some more college football playoff picks, some more recaps, things like that, and we'll have you covered with all the headlines when their coaching carousel continues. The free agency transfer portal is ongoing. Players are starting to sign contracts, apparently. So the world of college football is changing, and we're going to change with it here on Locks and Longshots. So we'll be back next week for another episode. We hope you have a good first week of the college football playoff.